Welcome back, everybody. It's Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. Born on this date in 1954, current Congressman Gary Palmer of Haleyville. Today's also National Buttermilk Biscuit Day, and in an effort to suck the fun right out of National Buttermilk Biscuit Day, we'll share a news story about obesity rates. We also have a couple things to look for on the final working day of the 2025 legislative session, and some of the pairings in the region's tradition Celebrity Pro-Am. So have you a biscuit and set a minute. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Not everyone is careful with your personal information, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the US. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. If your identity is stolen, a US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year by visiting lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Today, Alabama lawmakers will meet for their final working day of the 2025 regular legislative session. They left off last week with Democrats slowing things down considerably, leaving numerous live measures, including a glut of local bills. The Alabama Daily News reports that Senate President Pro Tem Garland Gudger, a Coleman Republican, said those local bills will be the top priority today. State Senator Bobby Singleton, a Greensboro Democrat, said the way for Republicans to avoid a slowdown today is to pass his gambling bill that affects Greene County and to make changes to pending bills on police immunity and the Alabama Department of Archives and History Board. Also, the bill to regulate sales of products containing hemp-derived THC has already passed and is awaiting Governor Kay Ivey's approval. But AL.com's Mike Kaysen reports that it's drawing fire from multiple fronts. Store owners are crying government overreach that'll be onerous on their businesses, while conservative groups such as the Alabama Policy Institute are arguing that it effectively legalizes recreational marijuana. Those two sides are hoping the governor will veto the bill. Alabama has moved up the most recent obesity rankings from U.S. News and World Report, and we're getting awfully close to the 40% threshold for people with a body mass index of 30 or higher. Now, if you score a 30 or higher on the BMI, you're considered obese by that measure. Of course, BMI is an imperfect measure on the personal level because it takes into account only height and weight. But looking at general stats over a statewide population, it's a decent indicator of whether we have lots of neighbors at risk for all those maladies that are more likely to affect obese people. The latest data was from 2023 and ranked Alabama 5th in the nation, up from 7th the year before, reports AL.com's William Thornton. The study found that 39.4% of Alabamians are obese. In first place was West Virginia at 41.7%, followed by Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Now, if you see a trend there, here's the part of the program when I interject that we are handicapped by the fact that Southern food is much harder to pass up than most. The least obese state, according to the study, was Colorado at 24.6%. Well, the best part of being famous surely must be the golf celebrity pro-am circuit that famous people get to go on. Imagine being able to shoot 106 at some of the nation's finest golf courses, paired up with a PGA pro and your fellow famous people. You can say, yeah, me and Darius Rucker and Alice Cooper are teeing off at 8 o'clock at Century. I wonder what all the unfamous people are doing today. Well, the region's tradition Celebrity Pro-Am is today at Greystone Golf and Country Club in Hoover. And unless you're getting to play or have a gallery ticket, the most fun part of it is checking out the pairings to see who's teeing it up together. As usual, it's heavy with Alabama-connected celebrities. Hugh Freeze and Kalen DeBoer, the football coaches at Auburn and Alabama respectively, are both in the tournament in different groups. Former Crimson Tide quarterbacks Greg McElroy and A.J. McCarron are in a group with Taylor Hicks and pro Tom Lehman. Nick Saban is playing with Charles Barkley in Stuart Sink's group. But the most interesting Alabama-connected group might be the one with former Auburn coach and U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville. He's in a foursome with Alabama-born country stars Jamie Johnson and Riley Green, and the pro in that group is John Daly. You have the outspoken senator who people speculate wants to run for governor amid questions over whether he's been an Alabama resident long enough. And you have the very colorful golf pro who touts his excesses alongside a country singer who's opened up about his road to sobriety and 13 years without alcohol, and another one who first came to fame as a contestant on a show called Redneck Island. Now, how many notebooks could a tag-along reporter fill up in those 18 holes? At least Johnson might come away with a new song. He could call it The High Cost of Keeping Up with John Daly. Thank y'all so much for listening to us. We're going to come back here and do this again tomorrow morning. Until then, as always, y'all come by and see what we're doing anytime you want to on the internet at al.com.